It's Radio Heartland. My name is Mike Pengra. I am in the studio with Them Coulee Boys for the second time now.
Yeah.
Nice to see you guys.
Yeah,
and,
thanks for
the
having
new
us.
album, No Fun in the Chrysalis.
Yes.
Yes.
This is album number 5 for you guys already?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
A lot of hard work, I think.
Hard work and sacrifice and sweat
Yeah.
and hair.
Yeah. I think we lost hair over the course of it. Yeah.
And the title of the album, No Fun in the Chrysalis, to me that means the chrysalis, of course, is like the cocoon you're in, and you're kind of still in your shell. You're trying to break out. Does that mean you've broken out now, or things have changed since the last album, or what?
I mean, we hope so. I mean, like, for me, like, the Chrysalis is definitely that, like, big moment of change. And, like, I was feeling that. These guys were feeling that within the last few years, so that kind of is where this record came from. But, yeah, as far as a band, like, we've been a band now for going on 13 years, and we started as a string band, and now we're, like, this rock and roll Americana band. So definitely feel like there has been some kind of change for sure.
Is that the main thing? Is your style has morphed over the years to more of a rock sound, or what?
Yeah. But also, like, we have families now, and, like, things have changed, like, within our personal lives and our lives that affect our, the people that follow us or things like that. And the way that we move around now is a little bit different. And we're just, like, older and more mature. And I think more that's the change that is the thematic on the album. But he's right. We have changed completely from when we started, which is not hard to come to grips with, the way that, like, families changing. That's hard to come to grips with sometimes, especially as a working unit the way we are. And that's the no fun in the Chrysalis, is when you accept the change and move into the change and become something on the other side.
Yeah. You guys started as a duo, just you two. Camp counselors, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would, whenever the kids would leave at the end of the week, we would just find ourselves in a cabin. Bo had a banjo, I had a guitar, and I was obsessed with, like, the Ava brothers at that time, and I mean, still am. And then, invited Gents over there, my little brother, to come work at the camp the next year, and we kind of just had to. I mean, we were trying to entertain 12, 13-year-olds like that didn't want to be there. And it's really fun to, like, see, like, how that's translated into our space now. We weren't good at what we did back then, so we had to make up for it with, like, energy.
And obnoxious energy.
Yeah, obnoxious energy.
I learned
fun. Yeah.
I learned to play mandolin on stage. There was no time to, like, practice outside of it. And when I got to camp, Soren handed me this and said, "Learn this." And I did, but I was learning it on stage. So while we were playing to these kids, I'm, like, messing up the whole time and just getting better every moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You worked with Brian Joseph on this record. Your second album with Brian. How did that go? Is that fun?
Fun as always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's he like to work with?
He can be a goofball. He can be very serious. He can take you seriously. Don't worry. He's a great person to work with. But also, he's more than a cheerleader. We've had other people who have just been cheerleaders for us in the past, where they're just saying, "Good job." That's about it. That's it. But he challenged us to be, I don't know, I don't want to say better, just loosen up. That's about it. And he challenged us to loosen up. That's what I took away from it. I can't speak for everybody.
I will say, like, Brian is the most laid back, intense individual you ever met. It's like he's the aura kind of he's projecting this, like, serenity, and the space that you work in is very, like, calm and controlled, but it's also just very intense. So it's kind of like I realized that I was, like, way more focused on what I was doing there, despite feeling really relaxed. And that's a cool, like, space that he creates. And definitely this is our second time we worked with him.
Yeah.
So, like, coming this time around, the nervousness of, like, oh my gosh, this guy's, like, won a Grammy.
Right.
Like, we don't really know him. Now we're like friends
That's
with
gone.
him. It's like there's
He's
comfort.
just our buddy, and we're gonna mess with him.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think coming into the sessions too, it was like I was writing songs the first time around. I was like, okay, I gotta fit what Brian does. And then this time around, it was like, maybe Brian can fit what we do. That'd be cool, and he did. So it was really cool to come in with a different mentality there.
Yeah. I read in another interview with you, Soren, that you it said in spite of how close you are to the rest of the guys in the band, it's hard to bring a song to the band and kind of expose your soul and your heart.
Yeah, I mean, a part of it is like I'm very hard on. I have such high standards for myself. So when I finally show it these guys, I want it to be like the best it could be. I mean, as anybody who's lived with me can attest, or like I write a lot of dumb songs that never get seen, and like I really try to bring the best to these guys because I know that like they have the capability to make it into something incredible. So I just want to hold up my end of the deal,
It's got to be hard bringing a song in front of your buddies. Yeah.
We've gotten used to it for sure. I mean, like it's. I think the trepidation that was once there is, a little less than it was, just because I don't know. I trust that they're going to see it for what it is and like make the most out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, once we all realized that like the whole goal was we just all wanted to make the best song we could.
Right.
Like it made it a lot easier to like, okay, I'm going to show them this and they'll work with it and have it bloom.
But we try to be gentle too, because it's got to be hard when you bring a song to somebody and you say, here's the song that I've been working on for a really long time.
Here's my soul.
Then here's my soul. Here you go. Please, screw it up now and make it better or whatever. Take it apart and nitpick it so that you can make it into something better and add your own piece to it. And Soren has to sit back and say like, he might have to say like, I don't like that, but we got to roll with it because these 4 people like that. And that's got to be really hard because that's something that you've been working on for many, many months or years or however long it took. And so we try to be gentle with that too and make sure that we are keeping his best intentions in mind. Because we do say like, you're the songwriter, like make sure that you have a little more input. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you're telling the truth.
But that's the beauty of a band.
Yeah.
It's
give
like,
and take.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know. If it was just what I wanted, it would be one thing.
Right.
But, like I have this baby and now I have these other guys that can help raise it into like what it actually should be. And I definitely like am thankful for that because I don't think I would have been capable of making the songs that we've made over the course of the last decade just by myself. No way.
Democratic.
Yeah.
And you
100%.
get a lot of support from these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. I was on your website, and there's a video for one of the songs you played today, Up Close, which almost made me tear up. It was just the way I'll try to explain it. 2 pairs of legs walking, and then they obviously meet, a man and a woman, and then all of a sudden they lift up into the air. It's just,
I get chills at that part too.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's just gorgeous. Wow.
Yeah, our friends Sarah and Eric Elstron from Eau Claire.
Yeah.
If I believe y'all play the Nunnery on the Current or any of your stations. I mean, like that's Sarah and her partner, and they made that video for us. And I came to them with an idea and kind of storyboarded some stuff, and then they just made it magic. And we're very proud of them for making it that way.
I'm in the studio with them Coulee Boys, and their latest album, No Fun in the Chrysalis, is just out. Actually, it came out in February. And what's next for you guys? What's the next step?
Well, we're hosting our own festival this year for the first time.
And that's when? And where?
September 11th and 12th.
I think it's 12th and 13th.
Let's re-say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
September 12th and 13th up in Bayfield, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're hosting Lake Effect Music Fest at Lake Superior. Sorry.
My phone opened up. When it was,
Oh, cool. Are you checking your Instagram?
No, it just like was slipping out. I didn't want it to fall, and then it opened up somehow. So
sounds good. Yeah, it's in Bayfield, Wisconsin at Lake Ship. Oh my God, now I have to say it.
Lake Effect.
It's Lake Effect Music Fest up at Big Top Chautauqua in Bayfield, Wisconsin. So a lot of incredible bands, a lot of local friends as far as like the Midwest music scene. We're very proud of just how many like awesome people that we love and like know personally are coming, and it's going to be a big family reunion.
Well, congratulations on this album. It's a really good one. You guys did a great job on it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's it.
Ask Neil about his breakup.
The Current is public media made possible thanks to member support.